Welcome, everyone. You're listening to our English podcast, where learning becomes an interactive and engaging experience. Here you will encounter fresh words, expand your perspective, and sharpen your skills. Like any challenge, language learning demands discipline and determination, but it also brings rewarding results. So, without delay, let's continue directly into the story waiting for you.
Part 1. The Rivers. Every great river begins as a small stream, hidden in the mountains. Yet as it flows, it carves the earth and shapes life around it. From Asia to Africa, rivers have sustained people for thousands of years, offering water, food, and stories that travel endlessly through time. Civilizations rose along their banks, where water meant survival and power. Ancient kingdoms guarded river mouths like treasures. People built homes, temples, and ports that later became vast cities. The rhythm of the river guided their seasons, turning floods into festivals and work into faith. Some rivers became borders, others became bridges. They carried ideas, trade, and culture from one shore to another. Travelers followed their curves like living maps, learning languages and customs. Wherever water moved, life followed. It was as if the river itself taught humanity to connect. To know a river is to witness time flowing. It holds the memory of rain and stone, the rise of empires, and the fall of kings. Even now, rivers whisper stories beneath bridges and cities, reminding us that every drop has a history, and every current carries a dream. The Ganges begins high in the Himalayas, where glaciers melt into pure streams. For millions, it is not just water, but a sacred presence. People travel far to bathe, pray, or scatter ashes in its flow. To them, the river cleanses both body and soul, connecting heaven and earth. At sunrise, pilgrims gather on ghats, lighting lamps that drift like stars on the water. Chants rise in the air, mixing with mist and devotion. The Ganges carries their hopes downstream, from mountains to sea. Each wave seems alive, whispering ancient prayers of life, death, and renewal. But the river also suffers. Factories release waste, and plastic floats among flowers. The sacred water turns darker each year, carrying both faith and pain. Still, many believe the Ganges will heal itself, as it has always done, washing away human mistakes with quiet strength. When the monsoon comes, the Ganges grows fierce and wide, reclaiming the land. Villages flood, but life returns with the silt it leaves behind. The river teaches balance, reminding us that creation and destruction are one flow, forever bound by the rhythm of nature. The Yangtze flows through China like a silver dragon, curving past mountains and plains. For centuries, it has been the nation's lifeblood, feeding rice fields and powering cities. From ancient poetry to modern bridges, the river connects tradition and progress in one endless journey. It is home to countless species, from tiny fish to giant sturgeons that swim upstream to spawn. Fishermen still rise before dawn, trusting the water's mood. But the Yangtze is changing fast, shaped by dams, pollution, and time. Its calm hides stories of struggle and survival. Along its banks, megacities like Shanghai rise with glass towers, while old villages fade in the mist. Modern ships cross paths with wooden boats, carrying echoes of history. The Yangtze is both mirror and witness, showing how one river can hold the story of a nation. In every bend of the Yangtze lies the story of resilience. It has seen wars, floods, and dreams rebuilt from ruins. Today, it stands as both challenge and hope. As long as the river flows, China's heart will keep beating, steady and strong against the tide of change. The Nile winds through deserts and valleys, turning dry land into fields of green. For thousands of years, it has fed people and stories alike. Ancient Egyptians built temples by its shore, believing the river carried the breath of their gods. Even now, its rhythm shapes life and memory. Each summer, the Nile floods with patience and power. Farmers wait for its arrival, measuring hope by the rise of water. When it comes, the soil glows dark and rich. The river teaches gratitude that life, no matter how harsh, always begins again with the touch of rain. The Nile connects 11 nations, weaving cultures like threads in a single cloth. Fishermen, traders, and children grow along its banks, their songs echoing across borders. Despite politics and drought, the river keeps moving calm but unstoppable, a reminder that unity often flows beneath difference. At night, the Nile glimmers under moonlight, carrying whispers of ancient kings and commoners alike. Some say the river never sleeps, it dreams of time itself, watching empires rise and fall. And as long as the Nile flows, Africa's heart will beat with eternal grace. Deep in South America, the Amazon flows like a living maze. Its forests breathe for the world, exhaling clouds that shape our weather. Beneath its surface, life explodes, fish that glow, trees that walk, and rain that sings. The river is both wild and wise, older than time itself. Rain falls every day, yet the forest never tires. Its rhythm is one of endless birth and decay. From the cry of birds to the roar of thunder, every sound belongs. The Amazon teaches humility that we are not masters, only guests on a planet that remembers everything. Many rivers feed the Amazon, like veins of a giant heart. But now, fires and deforestation threaten its breath. Trees fall, smoke rises, and silence spreads. Yet still, green shoots return proof that nature fights back, fierce and patient, waiting for our respect to grow again. Scientists call the Amazon the lungs of Earth, and they are right. It breathes for millions who will never see it. Every drop of rain, every rustle of leaf, is a message. Protect what sustains you, for when the forest dies, silence will be our last echo.
Part 2. The 5-minute habit revolution.
Have you ever promised yourself to exercise more or read books regularly? Then you failed after just a few days. You felt overwhelmed by the huge time commitment. This frustration is completely normal for most people. We often set goals that are too ambitious. This creates fear and makes us procrastinate immediately. But what if I told you there is a better way? The secret lies in making habits incredibly small. The 5-minute rule changes everything completely. It transforms big scary goals into tiny actions. Your brain cannot resist something taking only 5 minutes. This method defeats procrastination effectively. It builds momentum through consistent small wins. You focus on showing up daily, not being perfect. Imagine wanting to build an exercise habit. Instead of planning 1 hour at the gym, you commit to just 5 minutes of home workout. This feels manageable even on busy days. You might exercise longer sometimes, but not required. The key is maintaining daily consistency. Small repeated actions create big changes. This approach makes habit formation enjoyable. The psychology behind this is quite fascinating. Your brain loves quick, achievable tasks. Small successes release dopamine, making you happy. This positive reinforcement encourages repetition. Soon, the habit becomes automatic. You stop resisting and start enjoying. The 5-minute investment pays enormous dividends. Now let me guide you through the practical steps. Let me share the exact 4-step process. First, choose only one specific habit to build. Our brains work better when focusing singly. Do not try to change everything simultaneously. Pick something meaningful, yet simple. For example, instead of vague, "Get healthy," choose 5-minute walk. This clarity eliminates decision fatigue immediately. You know exactly what to do daily. Second, shrink your habit to 5 minutes maximum. Make it so small that resistance becomes impossible. Want to read more? Read just 1 page. Plan to meditate? Sit quietly for 2 minutes. Aim to write? Write only 3 sentences. The tininess removes all psychological barriers. You will often continue longer voluntarily, but the minimum remains easily achievable. Third, use habit stacking technique brilliantly. Connect your new habit to an existing routine. The formula is simple and powerful. After I do current habit, I will do new habit. For example, after morning toothbrushing, I will stretch for 3 minutes. After drinking coffee, I will write 1 gratitude sentence. This linking creates strong automatic triggers in your brain. Fourth, track and celebrate your progress visibly. Get a calendar and mark each successful day. Seeing the chain grow motivates tremendously. Never break the chain unnecessarily. Celebrate every small victory appropriately. Reward yourself with something pleasant. This positive reinforcement strengthens neural pathways. Your brain starts associating pleasure with the habit. Success with this method requires understanding key principles. Never extend the time, even when feeling motivated. Stop when your 5 minutes finish completely. This preserves willpower for tomorrow's session. It keeps the habit easy and sustainable long-term. Consistency matters more than duration always. Showing up daily builds identity as someone who keeps promises. Focus on appearing, not on being perfect. Some days you will feel tired or lazy. On those days, do just 2 minutes instead. The important thing is maintaining the streak. Perfection is the enemy of good habits. Missing one day is not a complete failure. Just restart again the next day immediately. Forgive yourself and continue moving forward. Patience transforms small actions into big results. A waterfall cannot erode a rock quickly, but consistent water drops create holes eventually. Your habits work exactly the same way. 5 minutes daily seems insignificant initially. Over months, it creates remarkable transformation. You build competence and confidence gradually. Trust the process and stay committed. Remember why you started this journey initially. Connect your small habit to bigger dreams. 5 minutes of reading builds knowledge eventually. Short daily exercise creates health benefits. Brief meditation develops mental clarity. Each tiny action contributes to your vision. You are building your future self today. Now take that first small step immediately. Let me share some powerful real-life examples. A busy mother wanted to exercise regularly. She started with 5 minutes of home yoga after waking up. Within 3 months, she naturally extended her practice. Now, she exercises 30 minutes daily, happily. Another person aimed to learn Spanish for years. He began with 5 minutes of language app daily. After 6 months, he could have basic conversations confidently. The key is making habits incredibly easy initially. Want to cook healthier meals? Start by washing 1 vegetable daily. Plan to declutter your home? Begin with 1 drawer weekly. Aspire to write a book? Write 1 sentence each morning. These tiny actions seem almost ridiculous, but they build momentum effectively. You prove to yourself that change is possible. Many people fail because they start too big. They join expensive gyms expecting instant transformation. They buy all equipment for new hobbies. This creates unnecessary pressure and guilt. The 5-minute method removes this burden completely. You only invest what you can spare easily. There is no room for failure or disappointment. Every completed session feels like victory. The most beautiful part is the compound effect. 5 minutes daily equals 30 hours yearly. That is 1 full work week of practice. Imagine spending 1 week solely on self-improvement. This consistent investment creates expertise eventually. You become what you repeatedly do daily. Small choices create big differences over time. Your future self will thank your present actions. Now I want you to take immediate action. Grab paper and answer this question honestly. What 5-minute habit could change your life? Be specific and realistic in your choice. Choose something deeply meaningful to you. It should align with your core values completely. This connection provides lasting motivation. Your answer matters more than you realize. Remember that perfection is not required here. Some days you will do less than planned. Other days you might skip completely. This is normal and completely acceptable. The key is returning consistently, always. Do not let perfect become enemy of good. Progress matters more than perfection always. Your consistency defines your success ultimately. Your life changes through small daily choices. 5 minutes of reading builds knowledge. Brief exercise improves health significantly. Short meditation enhances mental clarity. Tiny actions create massive compound effects. You are building your future right now. Each day offers new beginning opportunities. Your persistence creates your destiny eventually. Start your 5-minute habit today immediately. Do not wait for perfect conditions. There will never be perfect timing. Begin with whatever you have available now. Your future self will thank you gratefully. Small steps create beautiful journeys. You have the power to change everything. The time to begin is right now.
Part 3. My journey with alcohol.
I still remember my first taste of my dad's beer. In my childish imagination, it had to be a sweet and wonderful drink. But the truth was a complete shock. It was bitter, sharp, and the strong smell made me frown. I asked myself why adults could love such a strange liquid. That moment created a strong dislike in me. After that, I carried a feeling of hate and avoided alcohol completely. Life, however, pushed me into new situations. In many cases, knowing how to drink seemed like a part of becoming an adult. Social events and friend groups often included it. I felt a quiet pressure to join in, to not feel left out from the crowd. My first real drink happened at a party with friends. I said no at first, but then I picked up the glass. I was afraid they would think I was not fun. I feared being separated from the group. The taste was still as bad as I remembered from childhood. But this time, a different feeling started to mix in. After a few glasses, a strange new feeling arrived. I found myself talking more and acting bolder. The usual shyness and social barriers seemed to melt away. I could share secret stories and laugh more freely. It felt like a form of instant liberation, a fake but powerful sense of freedom. From a place of hate, I sometimes found myself missing that feeling. It became an easy escape during tough times. When I felt sad, had heartbreak, or faced work stress, alcohol became a quick painkiller. The idea of drinking to forget, to reset the next day, pulled me in more often. Slowly, it turned into a regular habit. Good food needed a few drinks. Trouble sleeping meant a drink to help. But have you ever drunk until you lost control? I did things I later regretted when I woke up. It was a scary feeling, realizing the power it had over my actions. I noticed a big difference in drinking cultures. There is drinking to connect, and drinking to prove yourself. In some gatherings, a beer can be a bridge for stories. But forced drinking and challenges turn it into a test of courage. The goal shifts from joy to simply not losing face. I realized alcohol itself is not bad. The problem is how we use it. Using it as a tool to run from reality is harmful. Using it to prove your personal value is wrong. Many people drink daily because they lack other ways to cope with life's difficulties. This was a key lesson for me. True maturity is not about how much you can drink. It is about the choices you make. I learned to change my thinking. Now, I am careful about who I choose to drink with. I look for gentle meetings with close friends. In these moments, a drink is a way to understand each other better. More importantly, I learned to choose when to drink and when to stop. Knowing how to politely refuse a forced drink is a real skill. Stopping when you have had enough is true strength. This self-control feels much better than any fake confidence from alcohol. My journey with alcohol has been long. It went from hate to dependence and finally to balance. I see it now like a friend. You must have limits with friends. You need to know when to be close and when to keep a healthy distance. This balance is the real goal. So, Have you found your own balance yet? It is a personal journey for everyone. The important thing is to think about your relationship with it. Ask yourself if it adds to your life or controls it. True freedom comes from making conscious choices, not from a bottle. The real change began after a particularly bad night. I woke up feeling terrible, both physically and mentally. I had said things I did not mean and hurt a friend's feelings. In that moment of clarity, I saw the pattern clearly. I was using alcohol as a crutch, not a choice. It was time to take back control of my life and my actions. I started small, setting clear rules for myself. No drinking when feeling sad or stressed. No drinking alone at home just to pass time. I began to find other activities to relax. Reading, walking, or simply calling a friend to talk. These small steps helped break the automatic habit of reaching for a drink. It was not easy at first. Social situations were the hardest. Friends would offer drinks and ask why I was refusing. I learned to smile and say a simple no thank you. I explained I was just taking care of my health. True friends respected my decision without pressure. This support made the journey much easier. Over time, I discovered the joy of being fully present. Conversations became deeper and more meaningful. I remembered every moment of my evenings out. Waking up clear-headed became a new pleasure. I realized I had not lost anything by drinking less. In fact, I had gained so much more control and true enjoyment. Now, my relationship with alcohol is completely different. I might have a drink occasionally, but it is a conscious choice. I enjoy the taste of a good drink in a nice setting. The key difference is that it no longer controls me. I can take it or leave it without any struggle. This feeling of freedom is truly powerful and liberating. I also understand others better now. I do not judge people who choose to drink. Everyone has their own journey and their own reasons, but I also do not feel pressured to follow them. I found my balance, and that is what matters most. It is about living in a way that feels right for you. My story is not about giving up alcohol completely. It is about building a healthy relationship with it. It is about recognizing its power and choosing not to be ruled by it. This journey taught me a lot about self-awareness and personal strength. These lessons apply to many other areas of life beyond just drinking. So, I ask you again to think about your own path. Are you in control, or is something else controlling you? Finding your balance is a personal and powerful achievement. It is a continuous process of making better choices. Remember, true strength lies in knowing your limits and respecting them.
Part 4. My Unexpected Bus Adventures.
I chose the bus not for its charm, but for my empty wallet. My budget screamed every time I passed a gas station. My bike collected dust in the corner, forgotten. So there I was, at the bus stop 30 minutes early. My greatest fear? Missing it, and being even poorer, paying for a taxi. The bus arrived, roaring like a tired dragon. The driver was clearly an F1 champion in disguise. We flew over potholes like they were minor bumps. My hands glued to the seat, my life flashing before my eyes. Then, a sudden break. We all became bowling pins for a second. That's when I knew I was on the wrong bus. My trip to work magically transformed into a city sightseeing tour. My fellow passengers were a live reality show. An old auntie argued fiercely with a cabbage. Students discussed homework I never understood. An office man snored like a chainsaw next to me. Someone's music leaked from their headphones, giving me a free concert. We were a bunch of strangers, forced to be neighbors for a while. It was strangely beautiful chaos. Getting lost was the best accident ever. I saw hidden cafes and strange shops I never knew existed. My unplanned tour taught me to relax. My tight schedule could wait. Sometimes, The wrong turn leads to the right view. I got home late, with a new story to tell. The bus was no longer a monster, but a box of surprises. I soon learned each bus has its own personality. Some are gentle giants, moving slowly and carefully. Others are wild race cars in disguise. The fast ones have their own rules. Hold tight, or you might fly away. The drivers think they are in action movies. Horns honking non-stop, brakes slamming suddenly. Every ride feels like a small adventure. The decorations inside are even more interesting. One bus had Buddha statues at the front. Another had a cross hanging at the back. Maybe the driver wanted protection from all directions. Some buses have cute stuffed animals dancing on the dashboard. Others have photos of their families everywhere. It feels like visiting someone's mobile living room. Of course, there are less pleasant moments too. Rush hour turns the bus into a packed can of sardines. Someone's loud phone conversation becomes your business. Mysterious smells appear from nowhere. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's, mystery. You learn to breathe lightly and think happy thoughts. It's all part of the authentic bus experience. But these inconveniences create funny stories later. That time when it rained heavily and the roof leaked, or when the bus broke down and we all became mechanics. Once I left my umbrella, and a kind stranger ran after me. These small incidents connect people in unexpected ways. The bus becomes more than just transportation. Bus life taught me patience the hard way. Traffic jams became my meditation time. I learned to balance like a flamingo in a moving bus. My legs became stronger from standing. I discovered muscles I never knew I had. The bus is my free gym on wheels. Who needs personal training when you have public transportation? I also learned to observe people carefully. The art of finding an empty seat became my specialty. I can spot someone about to leave from 3 rows away. I developed my bus radar for good seats. The window seat is the ultimate prize. The seat near the door is for brave souls. Every choice has its consequences. Small acts of kindness happen every day. I saw students offer seats to elderly people. Once a woman shared her food with a hungry child. People help carry heavy bags for others. Smiles are exchanged between strangers. These moments restore my faith in humanity. The bus becomes a moving community center. Now I actually enjoy my bus adventures. I've made friends with regular passengers. We share stories and complain about the weather. The bus driver knows my usual stop. This routine has become my favorite part of the day. Who knew being poor could be so much fun? The bus taught me to find joy in simple things. Every bus ride writes a new story in my personal diary. There was the time I witnessed a proposal on the number 07 bus. He knelt right in the aisle during rush hour. Another day, a singer practiced opera behind me the whole trip. I've seen business deals closed and friendships born. The bus is a stage for life's little dramas. You never know what you'll see next. Of course, there are less glamorous moments too. Like the rainy day when the wipers stopped working, the driver had to guess where the road was, or the time the air conditioning broke in summer. We became human soup in a metal can. Once, a chicken escaped from someone's bag. It took 3 stops to catch the runaway bird. The bus has its own economy system too. People trade stories, snacks, and sometimes advice. I've received cooking tips from grandmothers. A student once helped me with math problems. Someone shared their umbrella during sudden rain. These small exchanges create invisible connections. We're all temporary travel companions, sharing resources. I've learned to appreciate these imperfect journeys. The bus may be slow and unpredictable, but it gives me time to think and observe. I notice street vendors setting up their stalls. I see children walking to school in uniforms. The city wakes up gradually outside my window. These small moments become precious memories. Looking back, the bus taught me valuable life lessons. It showed me that everyone has their own journey. The student worrying about exams, the worker going to their night shift, the mother returning home to her family. We all share the same path temporarily. Our destinations differ, but our humanity connects us. I learned patience when stuck in traffic for hours. I discovered kindness in strangers' small gestures. Balance became my skill in crowded aisles. Observation turned into my favorite hobby. The bus gave me stories I could never invent. It showed me a city I never noticed before. My perspective on life expanded significantly. Now I see the bus as my mobile university. It teaches sociology through passenger interactions, physics through sudden stops and turns, economics through shared resources, psychology through human behavior studies. Every ride is a free educational course. I graduate with new knowledge daily. So yes, I ride the bus because I'm practical, but I continue because it enriches my life. The bus gave me patience, observation skills, and kindness. It taught me to smile while stuck in a crowd. Most importantly, it showed me that every journey matters. Even the slow ones have their own beauty, and that's a lesson worth every bumpy ride.
Part 5. Things I wish I knew at 18.
Do you remember turning 18 and feeling completely lost? That awkward space between childhood and adulthood felt terrifying. I recall the pressure to have everything figured out immediately. Everyone expected me to make perfect life choices, but honestly, I felt completely unprepared for the real world. My fears felt too real. Looking back now, I wish I could comfort my younger self. I would tell her that uncertainty is completely normal at 18. The path ahead doesn't need to be perfectly clear. Today I want to share some heartfelt lessons with you. These are things I learned through years of experience. They are gifts I would give to my 18-year-old self. The first lesson concerns career choices and direction. I remember feeling enormous pressure to choose one perfect path. Society made me believe I needed immediate answers. But life doesn't work that way for most people. Careers are journeys of exploration and discovery. You learn through trying different things and making mistakes. When I was 18, I focused only on academic grades. I thought good marks would guarantee future success. But I completely overlooked essential soft skills. Communication and teamwork matter tremendously in real life. Emotional intelligence often outweighs pure technical knowledge. These skills determine long-term professional growth. Many people advise me to follow my passion completely, but passion alone cannot pay your bills. I found the perfect balance between three things: what you are good at doing, what the world actually needs, and what can support you financially. This approach brings true career happiness. In relationships, I thought quantity was most important. I wanted many friends in different groups. This constant effort made me very tired. Then I learned about real friendship. Having few true friends is better than many fake ones. Deep connections matter more than many connections. Learning to say no was another important lesson. I used to always try to please people. Saying no felt wrong and selfish at first, but protecting your energy is necessary. Clear boundaries show self-respect. They help maintain your inner peace. People often see being alone as something sad, but I found strength in spending time alone. Quiet moments helped me understand myself better. I learned about my true preferences and values. I became more independent and strong. Being okay alone helps build better relationships. My view of failure changed through experience. I used to see mistakes as disasters. Every failure felt like a permanent problem. Now I know failure teaches us important lessons. It shows us what doesn't work well. Failure is just feedback, not your identity. Nobody talked about mental health when I was young. We cared more about physical appearance. I wish someone taught me about rest. Sleeping enough is not being lazy. Taking breaks is not wasting time. Your mind needs care like your body. Asking for help was very difficult for me. I thought it showed weakness and failure. But I learned that seeking help is brave. Talking to mentors or family is smart. It shows strength and maturity. Everyone needs support sometimes. These lessons took me years to understand fully. I share them hoping to help others. Life becomes easier when we learn early. Be kind to yourself on this journey. Growth takes time and patience. Every experience teaches something valuable. Personal growth happens through small daily steps. I used to want big changes immediately, but real change comes from consistent habits. Reading a few pages every day matters. Learning one new skill each month helps. These small actions create big results over time. Travel taught me important life lessons too. Seeing new places opened my mind. Meeting different people changed my views. I learned that there are many ways to live. Every culture has something valuable to teach. Travel makes you more understanding and flexible. Money management is another crucial skill. I wish I learned it earlier in life. Saving money regularly is very important. Living within your means brings peace. Investing in knowledge pays the best returns. Financial freedom gives you more life choices. Taking care of your body is essential. Regular exercise improves your mood. Healthy eating gives you more energy. Good sleep helps your brain work better. Your physical health affects your mental health. A healthy body supports a healthy mind. Looking back at my journey, I feel grateful. Every experience taught me something valuable. The hard times made me stronger. The good times gave me joy. Every person I met helped me grow. Life is about learning and evolving constantly. To my younger self, I would say this: be kinder to yourself on this journey. Don't rush to have all the answers. Enjoy the process of discovering life. Make mistakes and learn from them. Trust that everything will work out fine. To everyone listening, remember this message: your journey is unique and special. Don't compare your path with others. Focus on your own growth and happiness. Be patient with your progress. Good things take time to develop. Life is a beautiful learning experience. Embrace every moment with open arms. Learn from both success and failure. Keep growing and keep exploring. Your best years are still ahead. Thank you for sharing this journey with me.